Hi everyone, it's me. So today I am finally giving you my menstrual cup update. I know a lot of you have been waiting a long time for this video, so I'm sorry it took so long. I've just been procrastinating doing this video for some reason. If you're not interested in menstrual cups or women's health, I'm sorry. I promise the next upload will be fitness related, so you can go watch that one. So I posted my original menstrual cup video around 10 or 11 months ago. So this is my 1-year update basically. So in this video, I have decided to answer some of the questions that you guys submitted on my community tab here on YouTube. I feel like that would just be the best way to address any updates, questions, that kind of thing. So if you clicked into this video looking for a thorough experience of a first-time menstrual cup user, as well as some detailed tips and tricks, check out my original menstrual cup video. I'll link it up here as well as the description box below, but I go through much more of a thorough look into inserting, cleaning, how to deal with it for the first time, what you can do and what you can't do with it in, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, click onto that video. This video is just more of an update for me. Okay, so let's get into the questions. The most popular question I've seen is, do I still use a menstrual cup? Okay, so I'm going to expand a little bit on this question. So the short answer is yes, I still regularly use a menstrual cup. I can't remember the last time I used a tampon. I still have my old stash of tampons in the cupboard under the sink in my bathroom, but they're just collecting dust. I haven't touched them. So now I'm going to delve into my long answer. If you don't care to hear from my long answer and just want to get on to the next question, skip to this time code now. So I was using my Diva cup, that is the original one I tried, for around 7 months, and then another company called Glad Rags actually reached out to me and gifted me some of their products, which included 2 of their sizes of menstrual cups and also some reusable fabric pads. So I have a little collection of cups here. I'm just going to show you them to compare the different sizes. So this one here, as you can see, is my Diva cup. It was the original cup that I tried in my previous video. This one is the Glad Rags cup. So it is way bigger, as you can see. So the height of it is the same as the Diva cup, but it is much wider. They also have a smaller size called the XO Flow Mini, I believe. So this one is a different shape than the Diva cup, but the capacity, the size of it, is actually around the same as the Diva cup, but you can see it's shorter but wider. So this is what everyone talks about when you're looking for the right menstrual cup to fit you. Everyone's bodies are differently in there. So you can see all these different shapes are available on the market, and there are definitely other ones as well. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of good to try different ones just to see which one fits you the best. So for some more direct statistics, the Diva cup holds 30 milliliters of liquid. This Glad Rags XO cup holds 38 milliliters, so a lot more. And then their mini cup here holds 31 milliliters, so still 1 milliliter more than the Diva cup, but not too different. And another thing to note is that the Glad Rags cups are way more firm. The Diva cup is a lot squishier, so that's also another thing to think about when you're picking what cup to choose. So I'm going to go through the story time of trying these new cups now, and I'll let you know which one worked the best for me. So I personally have a super heavy flow. To give you a gauge of how heavy my flow is, when I was using tampons, I would be using Super Plus all the time, and on my heaviest days, so probably days 1 and 2, I would have to change my tampon out every 1.5 to 2 hours because it would literally start leaking that quick. That is how heavy my freaking period is. It sucks. So that's why I was so excited to hear that this Glad Rags cup had a 38 milliliter capacity. So yeah, when I tried to put the Glad Rags cup in for the first time, I just realized how massive it was. I just tried to put the Glad Rags XO Flow cup, the full size, in me. For some reason in my mind, I wasn't even thinking oh wow, this cup's so much bigger, it's gonna be harder to put in. So it was definitely a larger object to stuff in. And I mean, that part was okay for me, the shoving it in. I'm just so used to using a cup now, so I'm just it's a little bigger, but it'll get in. The part that I had trouble with was opening the cup. For some reason, I don't think they actually have the insertion guide in the pamphlet that they gave me. Diva cup gives you some images, you can fold it this way and fold it this way and gives you tips on how to open it, but this one didn't. And me being like, oh, well, I've been using cups for like almost a year now, I can just do whatever. And it just wasn't opening. So yeah, the first time I tried to put it in, I felt like a beginner to cups again. I feel like after a year, I became kind of an expert with the Diva cup, so to say. But yeah, it definitely felt like a newbie again, trying to open this freaking Glad Rags cup inside of me. I was actually having a lot of issues with the cup pushing my cervix to the side. So I'd put it in and my cervix would be like here, like on the outside of it. And my cervix would be like pressing it in like this. And I was just like trying to press the base of this, like trying to pop the thing open. And I was like, why isn't it popping open? And it's because my cervix was literally pressing on it like this. And the way I figured out what was happening, I had to sneak my finger all the way up and then I poked my cervix like on the outside here. And I was like, what the heck is that doing there? So what I did to fix that was I pinched the base, I pulled the cup out slightly, like halfway, so my cervix wasn't in the way anymore, and then I literally just tried to like force the angle like in the direction of my cervix and then push it back in so my cervix actually sat in the middle. And that is the way I finally managed to get this cup open. So with a little bit of practice, it did get easier throughout the week, but like the first day or so, I was like, what is going on? But that being said, after I had the Glad Rags cup inside, it was a freaking game changer. So after using the Diva cup for 7 months, I really liked it. I definitely preferred it over tampons, but the Diva cup on my heaviest days, I would say lasted around 8 hours before it would start leaking and I would have to dump and clean. But even within the 8 hours, I was still getting a little bit of spotting and I wasn't sure why, but I think I know why now. The reason for it is because my pelvic floor is very strong. So any little contraction or movement in my pelvic floor I would do throughout the day, I don't know, whether it was peeing or pooping or just like moving or exercising, my pelvic floor movements would literally just squish onto the Diva cup and it would kind of break the seal or jiggle it around, and then I would get the spotting because the cup wasn't sitting in the prime spot anymore. So that's why when I mentioned the Glad Rags cup is a lot firmer, my pelvic floor wasn't able to like squish it the same way. So yeah, that was another indicator that the Glad Rags cup was a better fit for me. The other indicator was that the Glad Rags cup did not leak after 8 hours. Because of the larger capacity, I was actually able to keep the cup in for the full 12 hours before I had to change it during my heaviest 2 days. So yeah, moral of that very disorganized story that I just told, the Glad Rags cup is definitely a better fit for me, but I actually did end up going back to the Diva cup for my lighter days just because I didn't need like that chunky of a cup for my lighter days. If you're new to menstrual cups, I don't think I would recommend trying the Glad Rags XO cup first just because it's so big, it's so intimidating. I feel like it's intimidating enough trying a small cup for the first time. So if you're a first time user, I would definitely recommend something smaller like the Diva or the Glad Rags mini cup. And then after you've gotten used to those, if you feel that you need a bigger cup or a firmer cup, go for the Glad Rags XO and see where you go from there. Okay, so the next frequent question that I get is, do you need to wear an additional light pad to be sure nothing will get on the panties? Yes, I do. I feel like wearing a liner has just always been a habit for me. Even when I was a tampon user, I always wore a liner just because like I was paranoid. I didn't want to ruin any of my clothing or anything just in case. Again, I do have a very heavy flow, so leaking was a more common thing for me than for maybe someone with a lighter flow. So yeah, I always use liners, although now I don't use the like one-time plastic liners anymore. I actually use a mix of NYX period panties as well as the Glad Rags cloth reusable liners and pads. Between the cup usage and my reusable panties or pads usage, my menstrual cycles are now 0 waste and I am loving it. The next question is, do you use a cup on the last day of your cycle since there isn't a lot of flow? So I do use a cup for my entire cycle. My regiment, I guess you could call it, is that I use my huge Glad Rags cup for the first 2 or 3 days, and then for days 4 and 5 I'll skip to something smaller like the Diva cup. Even though my days 4 to 5 are usually more spotting than flowing, I still just don't like that like gushy feeling. It's so gross to say, but girls, you know what I mean. I hate it, and even though I'm not leaking, even though I have a pad or a liner, I just feel like gross when it gushes. I know everyone has different preferences, but this is just for me. I don't like the gush. Okay, next question. Do you feel it when you insert it? I mean, like, you do feel like you're putting something in you. It's not like you're numb and you like don't feel a thing, but it's not uncomfortable or painful at all, and I don't think it should be. Even with this giant honker of a thing, like, it wasn't uncomfortable putting it in, but like, obviously I felt it. Once it's in though, and if it's in correctly, you should not feel a thing. It doesn't feel like anything at all. How long does it last? So the cup is said to last for up to 10 years. I think the companies recommend changing them after 1 year, but I feel like maybe that's for liability reasons. I definitely know people that have used their cup for over a year, and word is on the street is that they last for over 10 years. So that's pretty cool. Next question is, how often do you have to change it or clean it? Is it kind of like how you change a tampon every 7 to 8 hours? If a tampon can seriously last you for 7 to 8 hours, I am so jealous of you. You have been blessed by the menstrual gods. Yeah, again, I mentioned this before, but with tampons, literally Super Plus tampons, I had to change it at least every 2 hours. But yes, with the cup, I think I also addressed this too, but the Glad Rags cup lasts me for 12 hours. The Diva cup lasts me for 8, and those are on my heaviest days. Next question is, do you recommend it? And if you do, why? Yes, yes, and yes. So 3 reasons. Number 1, it is so much more convenient. I have been so much happier now not needing to think about changing my tampon every 2 hours. So what I do is I dump and clean in the morning right when I wake up, and then I don't have to think about it for the whole day. I just know the cup is in there, it's gonna hold me for the whole day, and I don't have to worry about it, and that is beautiful. So I am an evening showerer. Is that even a word? I shower in the evenings. So I just change my cup while I'm in the shower. Easy peasy. Reason number 2, it is so much cheaper than tampons and pads. I think I actually did the calculations a couple months ago, and I was saving over $300 a year on tampons alone. Like, that's crazy. I could do a lot with $300. The 3rd reason using these cups is way better for the environment. Everything here is reusable and lasts for so long, so you're definitely reducing your waste. Whereas with tampons and pads, you're literally just throwing out after one-time use. Next question is, how do I clean a menstrual cup? Okay, so I actually did address that in my original video, so click up here or in the description box below and you'll see a full video of me cleaning my cup. Is it uncomfortable to sleep with the cup? Nope. I don't feel a thing. Again, once it's in, you don't feel anything. You don't feel the gushies, you don't feel the cup. So yeah, I definitely last through the entire night with the cup in and I don't feel a thing. Sleep like a baby. Can you please tell if we can pee with the cup inside of us? Yes, peeing and pooping are all cup friendly. I always had troubles pooping with a tampon in. I always just like pooped the tampon out. And I feel like that might actually be due to my extremely strong pelvic floor. I don't know why my pelvic floor is so freaking strong. Like, what the heck did I do? But yes, peeing and pooping, all great with the cup. Can you swim with it in, and have you tried? Okay, so I have read and seen online that you can swim with the cup in. It's just the same as with using a tampon, but I will have to say I personally have not tried it because of, you know, the world issues in 2020 and 2021. The swimming pools here where I live never really opened, so I have not had access to a pool in the past year, so I haven't been able to try it. And I just haven't gone to the beach or the lake at any point during my period in the past year. I've always just managed to plan it around my period. So personally, I have not tried swimming with it in, but apparently you can. When I was using the Diva cup, I probably wouldn't, just because I know I was getting some spotting, but I feel like I would be more confident to try with the Glad Rags cup in. Has it ever leaked while you weren't at home? No. Again, I've had some spotting with the Diva cup, but I wouldn't classify it as like a full leak. It was just some spotting. It was nothing that a liner couldn't hold for like an entire day. How long did it take for you to get completely used to the cup? I would say a couple months. It's definitely normal for me now, although now I'm on the journey of adjusting to the Glad Rags cup. So I guess the journey starts all over again when you try a new cup. But yeah, definitely normal. Definitely completely used to it. Okay, and then the last question I'm going to address in this video is, I've gotten a lot of questions asking for more tips to pop the cup open when inserting. Okay, so here's my cup. And this is actually a really good question because my method of inserting has evolved and changed a little bit since my original video. First of all, I still do the punch down fold as always. So with the Glad Rags cup, actually, they have a design on it. So they have, you can see an X on this side, and on this side it looks like an O. So in the manual, they actually tell you to do the fold on the X. So what I do is I align my finger with the X, and then I do my regular punch down fold, which you press the tip down like this, punch it down, and then you kind of squish it in together. My finger stuck. Basically gives you like a triangular shape that has a more narrow tip, so it's easier to stick into yourself. So then the next thing I do is the insert. So we got our hole here. We insert, and then basically once we're past like this hump, once this hump is inside, I let go, and if I'm lucky, it pops open. Usually I'm not so lucky. So if it's still folded inside of you, I stick my finger in, run my finger around the perimeter, and if it's still squishy on one side, I find where it's squishy, I stick my finger all the way in, and chances are I'll actually find my cervix sticking on the outside, and that's what's preventing my cup from opening. So if I find that, if my cervix is like here, for example, I'll take the cup out just a tiny bit, and then I'll angle the cup towards my cervix, stick it in again, and then open it, and chances are it actually does open that way. At this point, if it's still not like taut and firm all the way around, I'll stick my finger again, and I actually just kind of like squish it in and then let go, and then rotate it, and then squish it in, let go, rotate it, squish it in, let go, rotate it. And what this does is actually, like, you'll see the suction holes, it actually gives room for the suction holes to attempt to like fully open again. And then after that, it's always open. That is my foolproof method of opening it. It works every single time. At that point, just for safety measures, I do a little 360 spin. I do my little Kegels, so I just like suck it in a couple times, and then we're good to go. So that is it for this video. I hope I answered some or all of your questions. If you do have any more questions about the cup, please leave it in the comments below. I do read all my comments, so I will definitely get to your question, and hopefully I will have a good answer for you. Please give me a like on this video if you enjoyed, because that really helps me. If you didn't like this video, always feel free to give me a dislike. That also tells me a lot and helps me a lot. If you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one, which will be a fitness video, I promise. Bye!